I took what I call a calculated risk to do this tour. I had money saved. I've been saving what I've been making on the road. But had this failed, it would have been a financial disaster. Boys, I'm leaving. Come and show me love. Ah! I'll see you at your game tomorrow.
Right. So when's it coming?
Should be tomorrow. This is the worst part, Josh. Coming outside.
All right, Kevin. When would you say this whole journey started?
Okay, we're here promoting a play at the mall. Me and Zay Zay are gonna pick it and get people to come to the play. Ready? Lady with full glasses, come to our play.
Where's your place so I can come and see it?
It's at Kent, the Showware Center,
When is that?
July 31st.
Do you have a flyer?
Yes, I do.
Can I get one?
I don't have it at this moment.
What's going on?
I just had these big old signs. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Kev on stage. Anybody who been to a Waffle House already know that they failing their health inspection. This ain't news. Some recipes are not supposed to be altered, okay? Food Network, this show is called The Kitchen, and they doggone ruin macaroni and cheese. I don't even want to open my eyes. I don't want to see the video no more because I'm getting upset. I just kept building, and literally have posted a video on that page every single day for the last 6 years now. This whole journey started technically when I did stand-up at 16 at Greater Christ Temple Church. My brother said this girl that we knew didn't think I was funny. I told him I was thinking about doing this talent show, and he was like, oh, so-and-so doesn't think you're funny. And I was like, well, I'll show her. And I did it. And it wasn't until like 2 or 3 years ago that he told me he made that entire story up, and he just knew that if he told me that, I would do it for sure. And that was the first time I did stand-up, and I like fell in love right then. I was like, oh man, I can do this. So technically that's, you know, almost 20 years ago.
But oh my gosh, Castle, but you.
Yes,
yes.
yes.
See the,
Deacon Danny, this is Deacon Danny who has all my flyers and everything from when I was just starting out. We're gonna go take a look at that. This is it. This, you Deke?
All right, okay, Deb. All right,
this, look, this is my first show ever. This is my very first show, Frederick's Family Entertainment.
What year was that? 2005.
Soon to be on BET's Comic View. I was alive. I never made it. I never actually got on.
Yeah, but you made it other ways. There,
I made it other ways. This picture was in my dorm room. That's in college.
Wow, Kevin.
You know, no one else has this collection of flyers. Yeah, my mom and dad don't even have this. And so this is literally priceless. This is 13 years ago. I was doing shows.
No,
I had completely forgot about this. No, I kid you not. Clayton Earl.
As we were, you know, late teens, early 20s, Kev and our best friend Anthony Davis started playing these two characters called Clayton and Earl. They dressed up as old men and did old slapstick church-style comedy.
We know they ain't saved, so they can't be holding late. They only getting married cause they got a baby. Now do that wedding walk, do that wedding walk, do that wedding walk, do that wedding walk.
And that turned into us doing plays at church. And then we started doing plays in like high school gyms and theaters. Then we did we were in the Seattle area, plays in bigger venues where actual stuff came in, and we started being known as the Playmakers. We thought we were going to be the next Tyler Perry, man.
But why lie? You could have told that was the best.
This is literally my whole career.
That was the best show ever.
This is the one Melissa said.
That was.
She was like, you guys, you finally put it together.
Oh my gosh, that was just remarkable.
Wait, remind us exactly, how old are you again?
Well, you want to know my age? You want to quote a great philosopher. She went by the name of Leah. And she once said, age ain't nothing but a number, and a noun ain't nothing but a thing. Rest in peace, Def Jam, chill. Which
remarkable.
Oh man, Deke, I'm a little teary-eyed. I cannot believe this. I did not expect to get emotional. I'm not gonna cry because I'm a real one. So the ShoWare Center was a brand new arena, and no black people had ever had anything in there. We were the first people. We did this play here. Not this play. We did Till Death here. This play. We were the first people to be in there. We lost a lot of money on this. I'm talking like $40,000. Not us personally, but the investor, who's no longer with us. And I understand. I totally get it. We didn't make it in his eyes. In Tacoma, everybody knew us as the playmakers. We were the guys who did the Clayton and Earl plays, and then these plays, and we did Till Death Do Us Part, which was like a huge play. And we rented out the ShoWare Center in Washington, and it was amazing. You know, the play was. The money part of it was less than amazing. Okay, can I tell this story? Okay. I gotta take a picture of this. It's a funny story. I won a scholarship. First of all, look at the neck. The neck was existent, okay? I won a scholarship to go to University of Washington. Look at my mom in the choir, okay? I immediately won the scholarship and left the church and followed Melissa to her church.
Took the money and ran.
I took people from the church were so mad at me. They were like, "We want the scholarship back." I was like, I paid my dorm. I don't have it. I'm so sorry. I didn't know there was conditions. I didn't know I was leaving the church when I had won the scholarship. Oh, they were mad.
I wasn't mad, Kevin.
Deke was happy. There were some people who were upset. They remained nameless. I understand. I mean, I immediately left the church. I would have met Deke and Danny in 1999. Deke and Danny's church is where I first did stand-up comedy. Actually, Deke and Danny is the one who had the event. He set up the talent show or showcase that I first did stand-up at, first time ever. So he's literally seen me go from my first stand-up performance to seeing me now almost 20 years later. Which is, I just realized how old I am. I know that should have been a sentimental moment, but I'm old as crap out here, Josh. The streets is ready, Josh.
You ready for this, Kevin?
The streets is ready. I'm so ready. Oh, I want to punch myself.
Don't do that, because you might miss and hit me.
People is ready. It ain't even time yet. So what? Okay, so, you know, everything doesn't work out. In theory,
We need a bigger one.
a step and repeat
Oh my God.
is for adults. In practicality, this
But
step
it
and
works
repeat
if you
is for
only do
children.
hood poses.
The squats. Get the prison squat out, Kev.
So when I looked at it in my
should
room,
do-
it looks
You
huge.
should do a snap and be like, y'all need to
Yeah.
come with your hood pose ready.
We're gonna order another one.
We have to.
Nah.
Because-
This could be
This is a
funny.
limited edition. This stays at the office.
Right.
So guys, it's our first tour. We ordered what we thought was a large step and repeat. It is in actuality only available for hood poses right now. We'll be ordering a bigger one for future cities, but children will have a blast at this. Adults, not so much. Thank you guys so much for coming. Oh, look at you, look, lined up for the people of God. Thank you so much. I love your hair. Hello, how are you? Good to see you guys, everybody. God bless you, sir. I just want to say, come out and say hello. Look at the baby
What our
and her
moms.
mom. Move, Joe.
You know what I mean?
Look at mommy and me and Joe. Move. Look, Joe, look at the Snapchat filter that says Left Hour Live. Doing something I never do.
What's that?
Eating kale salad. I'm trying to be better, and it's a lot easier because they only have a healthy option available. Because if there was like,
We got Kev.
oh, you gonna get these a lot, baby boy.
Kev just got 4 new pair of Yeezys, guys. Like, who does that? I tell you who does that. Show-offs. That's what Kev is. He's a show-off, right? Don't take that whole, look at his face, look at this. You know why? Because the kale was cut, not
No, what
minced.
is this?
He doesn't like
Okay, so here.
show-off. He's changing, guys. He's changing.
I am.
Kev told me yesterday he's gonna start getting his hair cut every 2 days, guys.
No, I didn't.
Did you not
I
say
said,
that?
I said twice a week. Every 2 days makes it seem like I'm rich.
Okay.
But let me
I'm
tell
sorry,
them why,
guys.
don't you hear?
I'm sorry. Every 3 days. I apologize. Every 3 days.
Tell them why though. Because I'm rocking the bald now, and if you go a whole week, it's just growing back. Tony, how often do you got to shave your head?
Like every few days.
Every 3 days, right?
Yeah.
I met Tony back in Washington when I first started doing stand-up. I've been a fan of his for a long time. And not only is he my favorite comedian, he's everybody's favorite comedian. All the comics, Tony Baker. His jokes range from everything from bugs to peanut butter, Jesus' hand movements, you know, like, and it's all funny. He's equally funny no matter what he's talking about.
But he says it himself.
But I don't know how to do that. I got really sensitive skin, so I can't go with the full shave. I'm razor bump.
You hear what I said? You guys hear what I hear? I hear excuses, guys.
I can get the bevel, but I don't know how to shave. And I like the barbershop experience. Do you ever miss the barbershop experience?
No. No. Because I take the boys to the barbershop.
Oh, so you still get it?
Yeah, I still get that little dabble.
You going? There's red onions in there.
Yeah, let me red onions kills breath.
I didn't know there was red onions in it until lately.
You tried.
That's probably healthy. Now, if that was a sourdough jack, I wouldn't have that problem. Because I just say no onion. You know, as a comedian myself, it was always important that I am funny no matter what. Not just funny to church people, not just funny when I'm talking about church stuff. I want to be funny just for funny's sake. So when I started stand-up, I made sure to kill when people are drunk in the audience, when they don't go to church, like my church jokes, I make sure they translate. You know, it's very important that, you know, you can make everybody laugh. Some people are fans of mine from All Deaf and they don't, you know, never grew up in the church. So I don't want to just be like, oh, well, he was funny for that, you know, last 15 minutes or when he, you know, that last piece when he wasn't talking about church was okay. Like, I want people to be like, man, that was funny all the way through and through.
So we humble ourselves right now before you. We thank you that you are at the helm. You are at the center of it all, Father. We humble ourselves before you and we thank you for as you minister joy to your people, you even minister joy back to us. We bind every assignment of the enemy, and as this tour travels, we thank you for your traveling mercy, your grace, and your blessings and your supernatural favor upon us. In Jesus' name, it is so. Amen.
Amen. Everybody have a great show.
That was fire.
I ain't here to come play for me at the house. Man, good show, man.
All right, bro. Zay, are you sitting back here or are you gonna go inside? When we very first started, my son was like, I want to be like you, Daddy. I want to make videos like you. So he kept bugging me. He would be sitting with me when I would edit and stuff. So I was like, fine, I'm gonna make you this little video called Growing Up Black. And I jump cut all his answers. I just would say the thing to him and he'd repeat it.
Hey, my name is AJ. And I told my dad I want to be a comedian. See, here's my first video. Y'all ready to hear some jokes? Look at me, I'm a black kid. I'm gonna tell you what it is to grow up like a black kid.
You know, he's my son, don't trip. Came right from my chromosomes, talent off the rip. So he had the, you know, he had the delivery and it was funny to see a little black kid with, you know, fat cheeks. And immediately that went stupid viral. I mean, like more than the Playmakers. So first of all, I was like, first of all, I'm now Joe Jackson. Let's get this career off. You're dropping out of school. Who needs kindergarten? You feel me? We on our way.
Are you Without further ado, here's your host, Tahir Moore.
Tahir, let's go, Tahir. They into the documentary, Tony.
Huh?
They into the documentary.
Oh.
Y'all stop clapping immediately. Okay, cool. That's what's up. We're done. Nah, don't do it now. Nah, don't. You treated me like a guest pastor. That was. What pastor is that? Nah, I don't know him. Did pastor say this was okay?
I think when I saw 3,500 people there to see something that I set up, I was blown away. Like, you post these videos on the internet and you perform here and there, you know, across the United States. 4,000 seats available, 3,500 accounted for. You don't think that you can do that. And seeing all those people, as soon as Tahir started, like all those people laughing and Tony, like it was like, oh, this is gonna work. Like I knew we were gonna get great video from this, great pictures. People would wanna, you know, take pictures with us, buy merch, and that would like ignite the other cities. Once it started, it was like, oh, this is, we off. You know, we off to the races now.
When I get on the flight, man, like, tell me if I'm petty for this, man. If I get the window seat on the flight and you're on the aisle seat, I don't want you looking out my window. Am I being petty for this? I don't want you looking out my window, man. I earned this window seat, man. I changed my seat online. You should have did the same if you wanted to reap the lavish benefits of these visuals out here. That wing in them clouds, that's on my Instagram, man. You want to take a picture of the aisle. That's all you, man. Hashtag it wheels up. We know you flying. We know you traveling.
Tony Baker, ladies and gentlemen. With this being the first show, I have to say this. He ain't gonna like it, but Kev on stage saved my life. Not even kidding. Multiple times. I recently got let go from a job, and he had to be the person to give me the bad news. But literally 2 weeks later, he came and was like, yo, would you want to do this tour with me?
To hear more, work with me at All Def, and due to budget cuts, I had to let him go, which was the hardest. I've had to fire a lot of people and lay off a lot of people. And most of the time, it's just like part of the business, whatever. With Tahir, he literally did nothing wrong ever at work. He's on time, he's professional, great to be around. And when I had to let him go, it was tough. It was. And then a couple days later, he called me and thanked me for like even giving him the job. And I cried. I'm talking ugly cry. Like, I was trying not to let him hear it, but I couldn't. So, you know, when I did this tour, I was like, I know he's a father, he got a kid, he got a wife. Like, you know, before it was just gonna be me and Tony on tour. And I was like, man, I'm gonna bring Tahir. He's one of the funniest people I know, the best host that I know. And I figure people will get a great show.
I love this man to life. I would fight your grandmother in the middle of the street for his honor. Bare knuckle, soft paw style, lefty. I'm coming swinging hard. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason you're here tonight, make some noise right now for Mr. Kev on stage.
Started back twice for the homies that still ain't departed. Back again, grind till I'm on the mama. Into a bigger crib, all with a new designer. Moving with the same team members. We in the right lane like.
What's up, Rancho Cucamonga? I am very tired. This was the show I was the most worried about because it was free so that I could do my special here and I wanted it to be packed. But you know, there's like 7,000 seats, but they say about half the people who reserve will actually come. And it was even less than half, but it was the most people I've ever performed for at the same time. You know what I mean? So I didn't want it to be full, like where people couldn't get in. So, but man, it was great. It was just great.
I'm gonna have you guys
explain
else. What Kev was like growing up.
So Kevin really is a mama's boy, and everywhere I would be, Kevin would be. But he's always just humorous, comical. He would do things at school. The school's calling me, Kevin did this, and I was like, well, Mom, just let me explain. And he always had a reason. He could explain it from A to Z. Didn't matter that he was going to be in detention or you're off the football team. But Mom, I can explain, you know. So in his comical mind, people just have to understand me. So that's basically Kevin. If you can understand him, you got him.
Kevin has always been a sweet, lovable kid. He's always loved his mother and family. He just kind of came out that way. But I was a little upset at him when I came home from work one day, and I noticed a big dent in actually in the roof of our car that was parked on the side of the garage. Come to find out, Kevin's jumping off of the roof of the house onto our car. So we had to have a little discussion to make sure that he wouldn't do that again. But they've always been great and comical. They just like to have fun.
Yeah.
And so it translates into what you've been seeing on this tour.
Right. Just, everybody says it's comedy, but to us it's just real life. It's just how our house was always just laughter, a lot of laughter, which is a good thing.
I develop jokes by real life. You know, what I think about, what I see, You know, I found that when you tell stuff that's true to your life, one, it's easier to deliver because it's happened or it's your perspective. And two, it's harder to steal because it's hard for you to steal a story that happened to me. So that's why I use my real life and my point of view. I think the best thing a comedian can do is take you into the world as they see it and explain why that is funny. You know, that way you can laugh at stuff that you might not have experienced because I've set up why this is funny or different or whatever, and now you can enjoy it.
You good? Oh man, it's first year.
That's a real piece.
This is beautiful, man. These are growing pains. We're gonna look back at this like, yo, remember we all gonna have a Sprinter van with walkie-talkies and like, yo, remember when we was pile deep?
I think Melissa wants you to stop talking to her.
Melissa ain't even worried about me. She on her phone.
I'm sorry.
So you have to understand, Melissa and I both come from military backgrounds. My dad's in the Army still. Her dad was in the Army. And the one thing the military brings you is stability, like job-wise. Now, you'll move all over the world, but you'll never have to worry about a place to live or a paycheck. So to ask her to give up stability was a lot. And not like, oh, let's work a new job in LA. Let's quit and get a job in the entertainment industry, and you know how like fickle that is. And then we even had the church that we had been going to for like 13 years. We grew up in that church. You know, coming to LA, we didn't know anybody, like having to find a new church. This was all new. So we own a house, kids are in school. We're talking about giving all that up and going to make it in LA.
Kev, how you feel, baby boy? Was this your biggest, your most anxious show?
Not for stand-up, but for the Love Hour for sure.
Okay.
Stand-up, I performed a lot here, so I was hoping it would go well. I just wanted the audience to be good. The audience was great energy, man.
Amazing.
They were.
Hey, I'm gonna be real with you. They might have peaked over Toronto.
Yeah, when I was downstairs when you hit your thing, they were stomping on the ground.
Yes.
It sounded like the stage was gonna cave in.
I'm gonna be honest, man. This show was.
Yeah, it was up there. It's in the top 5 for sure. Great vibe from the Love Hour. I can always tell based on how the Love Hour goes.
Yeah, when I heard them stomping on the Love Hour, I was like, oh,
I was ripped. It's like 2 sets for me.
My ultimate goal is to reflect other couples in us. The Love Hour first started as a passion project for Kevin and I. We have a genuine interest in love, relationships, and generally just helping young couples find inspiration. So we started doing the Love and Laugh Hour podcast, and we would take questions or topics or different things, and that just kind of spawned into a live event, which is now the Love and Laugh Hour Live.
One thing we want to just tell people first, we are not relationship goals.
No.
I just want to say that because people be like seeing us on the gram and following us and seeing pictures like, oh, goals. We just got into an argument as we walked onto this stage.
We're often looked at as like the perfect couple. And so to be transparent to say we're not perfect, we have issues, we argue, we fight, he gets on my nerves, I get on his nerves, and yet I love him dearly. The best part about taking the Love Hour from a podcast to live form is it's the interaction, you know, talking to a microphone, talking into a camera versus seeing live audiences nodding in agreement, smiling, nudging their husband, coming up to me after the show and saying, girl, you don't even know. Receiving DMs, emails, and I get all the time after the show, whether it's, like I said, a DM or a personal conversation of someone saying that hit home for me. There's a lot of things that, again, something we say during the Love Hour, that you feel and you go through and you don't always have the language to articulate. And our ultimate goal is that we've given words to people's feelings so that way they can go back to their spouse and articulate, this is how I feel, this is what's been bothering me, and through that you can spawn a healthy dialogue and come to a resolution together.
I'm gonna pray. Ready, boys? Can you pause your games, Isaiah? Father God, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for this day, this opportunity to travel and do what we love. We just ask you to protect us as we travel. Shayla, as she drives us tonight and all the other nights and days, keep her eyes sharp and her reflexes sharper. In Jesus' name, amen. What did you do for work when you weren't doing comedy?
Stuff I wasn't passionate about. Working at Best Buy. being a work study at the Department of Black Programs, working with the mentally disabled, working at doing inventory.
Those don't even go together. That's none of that's even in the same.
I was just doing whatever, man. You know what I'm saying?
Best Buy, mental hospital. I changed brakes for a minute.
There was a whole bunch of passionlessness. Man, just working. And my last job when I was doing stand up was inventory specialist. I would go to different stores and count the inventory. And I'd just be standing there thinking about jokes.
For what though?
Huh?
Inventory, whose inventory? Was it a certain brand or?
No, it was just different stores. We would go and just count the inventory.
Oh, like overnight?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hated that.
Like when you travel with somebody, you really got to be a stand-up person because you got, we're cranky. We got to get up at 2, 3 a.m., fly, no sleep, no food. Flying and getting there at 7, you can't get into your hotel at 12. Like, you really find out what type of people you're dealing with when they're, faced with those type of adversity. Even me, I'm not the best person when I'm hungry. Like, I'll tell y'all, that Snickers commercial, that is your boy. So, more important than their stand-up was their character. And I know that, I'd never heard anything about them being late, not professional. Like, on the entire tour, even extending past Tony into here, people were only late one time. Of all 53 plus dates, traveling, driving, one time. And that was like 5 minutes, and that's really important to me that, you have people you can count on, depend on, they're ready to go, you don't have to worry about them. They are setting up tables. Like so many times we had to set up chairs, break down chairs, set up tables. I remember in the Philly show, at the last second, the venue, contractually they're supposed to set up. But the person there was just like, I wasn't gonna do that. So we were like, what are you talking about? She's like, I wasn't gonna do that. So you guys, here's the chairs. You can set up however you want. I'll help, but I'm not doing it by myself. So we literally had to okay, because it wasn't gonna get done. So we had to set this entire venue up. And then after the show, after we take pictures, sell merch, smile, wave, we have to break all this down and put the room exactly how it was before we could leave. And we had to do it on a time crunch. That was like a real eye-opener to see Tony, Tahir, Liz, Chayla, Josh. Everybody was willing to do their part to make sure that we got out when we needed to. And it was a lot. San Diego, we live, as the young folks say, out here at the Joan Kroc Theater. Josh Gons is making a documentary. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Kevin. I'm Kathy. I'm your Facebook friend.
Thank you so much for helping us with this. Hello,
Mark,
sir.
nice
Kevin,
to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Mark.
Jason.
Jason, that's my brother's name.
Awesome
this
name.
is even more beautiful than it looks.
Yay.
And it looks beautiful online. This turned out great. And this is 400, right?
No, 540.
540?
Yeah. Did you not sell?
Oh! I said it was sold out. No! 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 Melissa, it's Kevin.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Melissa, their
Yes.
venue seats 540, not 400.
That sucks.
So
That sucks.
it's not sold out, and people were emailing me, tweeting me, Snapchatting me.
Wait, there's still time though. Why don't you just send out a...
I did, but I feel like there's some people I won't get back. The lady at the restaurant, I said it was sold out, she would have come.
Oh yeah, that's true.
140 times 30 is almost 5,000. I can't.
Don't do the math.
Why did I need? What? Liz.
That is not. Yeah.
I don't know what I was doing. Oh, I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna be sick. God. Do you know that the whole DC venue is 140 seats? There's a whole show that is. Bye. I am in a glass case of emotion. It's more fitting now that I'm in this. I want you to know, Josh, I am sad. I'm laughing, but this is a rookie mistake. What would you think? It's my first tour or something. My third city. See, it doesn't suck so bad if the city wasn't selling.
told you there's some people that hit me up that they haven't.
You know, working with my wife on a tour was amazing and rewarding. It was definitely like an adjustment because I'd been traveling a lot, but she had never traveled as much as I did. So it was probably the biggest adjustment on the kids because, you know, my wife hadn't missed any soccer games. All of a sudden we're missing soccer games. The kids miss us. We've been gone, you know, 3-4 weekends in a row. Like that was the most difficult. You know, my wife and I got closer. You know, I had to make some adjustments personality-wise because I have a tendency to want to do things myself. And I had to make sure to include her in decisions. And that was definitely a process that, you know, from the beginning of the tour to the end that I had to work on.
We in the city, free meat.
Come on, Kev.
Hey, that's what you say. Free meat, freeway, cheesesteaks, Eagles.
Oh, I'm about to
It's
go.
always sunny in Philadelphia. What?
On your mark. Wait. What are we waiting on? That's like it. That's more drag. All right, get set. Go. Hey, yo, every step. Every step.
Oh my God, Melissa.
Melissa is crushing. I gotta keep up with her. Oh my. Yes, Melissa. Yes, Melissa. I'm on the water. Okay, Melissa. That's what we're doing.
Fantastic.
It was our second go around.
I would have beat y'all the first go round.
She was so fast. She used to run track.
Light work.
Light work.
Rocky made it seem so hard.
Those little legs were.
Her legs are shorter, so it took less effort.
I can't even catch my breath to talk trash or defend myself.
She light.
What does that have to do with anything?
She weigh 102 pounds. You know how easy that is to push up?
Tony, I beat you.
I came in third.
Okay, you were second.
I couldn't go faster. I saw you beating me, and my body was like, you can't go faster than this.
It's not good to run on that though.
You're going faster than
There's not enough space to really.
than you ever did. Whew.
If we had did the skipping steps, I would have won.
You lost when we were skipping. You ain't athletic.
I beat you
No.
skipping.
No,
I'll beat you skipping. Let's do one
no
with the
athletics.
skips. Catch your breath.
Steps?
Catch your breath.
I skipped steps the first time I beat you.
No, you didn't skip steps the whole time.
Actually, if we skip steps, I'm gonna smoke y'all. Let's do it again.
Okay, she's
Why
getting.
are we working out? This is just an exercise now. This is just the gym. Why can't we just? If we skipping steps, I'm gonna win. All right.
Well, I don't know.
It's Josh. This is a great. Everybody's having a great time.
Oh man.
Oh, everybody's so funny.
I mean, the setup was great.
Everybody wants to make me feel weird. They just like it. I don't like it. I am the opposite of words of affirmation. This is a trigger for me.
About 3 weeks ago, I was walking through an alley on the way to lunch with my coworkers. I stopped to throw something away in a dumpster, not knowing there was a family of raccoons inside. Apparently, they thought I was a threat and jumped out of the dumpster ready to bang. Everybody took off running except Kevin on stage. He stood by my side, helping me fight off a whole family of angry raccoons. This is really hard to talk about because it was super scary and kind of ridiculous. But honestly, I don't know if I'd be here today if it wasn't for him. I wanted the world to know how great he is. Kev, say
That's hilarious.
Ah!
Random people just hopping in.
Most
This man came down like a blessing. I was a door-to-door stripper in a retirement home.
Yes.
And when the old ladies would reach over to tip, I'd snatch their pearls and butterscotch. Until Kev on stage visited my granny and showed me the way. He rehabilitated me and taught me to live life like a man. He gave me a home and shelter. Kev, you are a saint. Thank you.
Yeah.
Get out, Josh.
Yeah, why are you angry?
I want
Random
to get away.
people hopping in it is the best thing ever, dude.
That's my favorite.
Kev started building his own channel, the Kev on Stage channel. And he just started the same stuff that he's doing now, but he was just starting. So he would just get on there and talk about random stuff. And and rant about things and make funny videos. And we were trying to create sitcoms and web series, because that was the big thing. So you all know the story about how he got fired from his job, and so he was staying at home with the kids. So we tried to do the stay-at-home dad, and we were filming that. We're using iPods and everything to film. One thing about us, we always use what we had.
Welcome to Chasing the Dream. I'm Kevin Fredericks, and this show is a reality show following me, Jason, and Anthony as we try to get our life in the entertainment industry started. This is not scripted. This is us with a cameraman following us all around. So, what you're gonna see in today's episode is me getting fired. Yes, in real life, I got fired. You wanna know how? Watch the episode. It starts out as soon as I got fired, I went to my kid's godmom's house and picked him up. Hi, buddy.
You got fired?
Yep. How'd you know?
You kept asking today.
I got fired. You know what that means? What does it mean? It means Daddy doesn't go to work no more. I'm gonna stay home with you.
I'm not gonna go to work anymore?
Nope.
Kev was getting booked, but he wasn't really making no money. And so anytime you're a manager, you know the artists they just want to perform. So they'll be like, you want me to come? I'll come. How much you want me to come? I can't pay you. Okay, I'll come anyway. You know what I mean? So I just kind of put the business behind him, what his value was. I could kind of tell what his value was based on his demand, based on his following, and kind of put those numbers together. You know what I'm saying? And to help him make money, because it was like, man, he can be on the road all the time, but if you're not making any money, you seen the New Edition story. They came home with $1.87.
Y'all gotta understand, my brother is the best. He is the best. He's going through bone marrow treatment, could get rid of that old cancer demon. I try not to talk about it because it makes me very sad. My brother is invincible to me. I can't speak about it much because it's gonna make me cry, and I don't feel like crying. But my brother taught me everything, a lot of things. Even his mistakes, I learned from them. And, nope. Nope.
When he got sick and I realized he wouldn't be able to come on the tour, I was like, man, like we worked so hard to do this and now we're able to actualize it and you can't even come. It was very hard. And knowing he's, dealing with cancer, his beard's falling out, he's got, stuff hanging out of his chest. Like, I try to push it down, like push that emotion down and, put on a happy face and stuff, but it's tough, man. Like, he is my hero. It was tough, but I knew that he needed something to look forward to. And during this time or his treatment, he could see the tour and be like, all right, we got this, Kev got this, we're gonna build this, and then we're gonna let that blossom into other stuff.
Because it's funny, as close as me and Kev are, we don't like talking about that I was sick. It's like, man, I could be in a situation to where I'm not here anymore. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to come to grips with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might not be around. And so my faith in God was just, hey, you've done this for our family, you've done this for other people that I know, and I'm believing you for that. And if you can, bless him with his dreams, my dreams are to be the great father and to be around. So it was helping me, you know what I mean? It was helping me as a person, as a brother, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, man, we wanted to do this together and I want to be around for that. So I'm going to keep doing everything that I have to do in order to be there. So it strengthened me there, everything, because it's almost like, man, this is our, they're living it and I'm going to be a part of, you know what I'm saying? So it helped me, it motivated me, it helped me, and it helped me to know God in a new way.
Kev, get out the way. Kev, get out the way.
Josh challenged me to a race. It's challenge day.
Oh, baby.
Feeling like the alpha male.
Oh,
so I'm finna beat the brakes off
baby.
him right now in the Wawa parking lot. Checking in.
Ever since Josh beat Kev on the Rocky steps.
I've been upset. I'm tossing and turning in my awake. I ain't even sleep. I'm just.
Here we go.
Runners, take your mark. Get set. Go.
Jesse! Let's go! I told you. I told you. I told you.
What happened, Josh? I ain't gonna front. I literally pulled a hamstring. I'm in so much pain right now. Yo.
Just explain what happened. Just tell them.
I know, I'm in pain. I never pulled a hamstring before.
You pulled your hamstring?
Kev, how you feel, baby? How you feel, baby?
34.
34, baby. Talk your shit, Kev.
Let me tell you what. See, these young whippersnappers, they think we old. It's past our time. I knew.
What'd you do to prepare for this win, Kev?
Nothing.
Oh.
When I was a baby, I was ready to win this race.
Oh my God. Oh, my boy, you just witnessed histories, my boy. Look at Joshy. Joshy stretching it out, baby. This bad. Stretch it out, baby. Bad. I'm trying to be cool, calm, collected.
I gotta get this on my Snapchat.
I try to run it through.
I got a couple more races coming up. Yo, I heard. I heard Usain Bolt was talking about you. Usain Bolt been tweeting you. Thank you.
Put your hand down. Out.
Take it.
He just did that to you.
Reset it. Reset it. Reset it again.
No, they lost. I'm in as a man.
Wait, you need a practice round first?
I'm in too.
I don't need a practice round.
Okay,
I'll do
here we
practice
go.
round. I'll do a practice round.
Okay, Tasses, put your hand up. Tasses, put your hand down. Tasses, come here. Tasses, stop. All right, now put your hand up. Tasses, raise your hand down. Out.
I didn't raise.
Yeah.
It did raise.
I already knew.
I didn't even ask
I know.
it to.
I know.
It just did it on
Let's
its
try it again. All right, there's your practice
Hold
round.
on, why? I looking at you in the face and saying I don't need to do it if my arm had it on its own.
All right, one at a time.
All right, one at a time. This is real.
This is a lot of pressure. You ready?
Okay.
Tell me what to do. Here we go.
Look at Tony.
Yeah, just stop with this.
Look at him.
That's what the fumbling stuff.
No, it's not. Trust me, watch. It's starting now. Tasses, come here. Tasses, stop. Tasses, raise your hand down. Tasses, come here. All right, good. Now stop. Out.
All right, I'm going again. All right.
Starting now. Tasses, put your hand down. That's up.
We can't get the dollar.
It's embarrassing the
Tasses, put your hand down. That's up. Out.
Let me try again.
All right, here we go. Tasses, put your hand down. Right now, come here. Out.
He was coming full steam.
What's completely
Still walking.
He didn't even know he was out. Come here.
Probably the most difficult thing about touring is time away from your family. Kids are young. Sometimes I think I miss them more than they miss me. You know, I want to be there for every game, for every goal scored, for every, Fortnite victory royale, which is very important to my oldest son. They adjust, but they miss you. I'm always traveled. Their whole life I've always traveled. So when I'm home, I like to be home. I don't, I've got a reputation for not going out. People invite me to stuff, I do not go. When I'm not on the road, I am at home. I am just there, playing soccer with my kid, messing with him about video games, wrestling, watching movies, taking them to the movies. Like when I'm present, it's about being home. My wife, she knows I struggle with the guilt of traveling a lot. And one thing she said to me is, it's important that overall you are there. You might not make every single game. You might not be there for every single event, but what's your overall thing? Do your children are aware of your love and presence overall? Are you there 80, 85% of the time? Because a lot of times you can be in the house and still be checked out, from your kids. So that's the most difficult thing, but I think my kids understand. So I bring them as much as I can. But even though when I try to bring them, they were just like, bro, I don't want to get up at 3. And I've heard these jokes before.
Joe, what's it like working on the Real Comedians of Social Media tour?
Well, not that fun.
Please explain.
Well, as you can see, we had to fold up clothes. Not really that fun. And then yeah.
It was also important that I taught my kids that you have to chase your dreams. It was important that they know this is a dream of mine. I want to, You know, of course I want to take care of them and things like that, but I also want to achieve this for my own sake, you know, and everything I do is for them, but some things are my own personal thing. You know, what I mean is everything I do is, you know, to take care of them and make sure they have a good life. But I also had to be honest with myself and say, I want to chase this dream because it's important to me. And I'm going to do my best as a father and a husband. And I don't want to put this all on them. Like, I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for you. Like, I had to be honest and say, I'm doing this because I want to, you know, own my own business. I want to travel the world doing stand-up. I want to, you know, write movies and, you know, web series and TV shows because I like it. And I want you guys, when you grow up, to chase whatever you want to do. You want to be a soccer star. You want to, you know, write movies as well. Here's how much work it takes. It's important to know what God has gifted you with and how believing in Him and His plan for you can achieve your goals, right? It's also important to understand how much work that goes in. You know, a lot of times people think, well, you know, God's just gonna pick me up and put me there and do this and do that. I also think, you know, it's like one of my favorite movies, Inception. The idea is planted in you and it's like a little flower, you know, but you have to water it and grow, you know, and it's more like a little fire that needs to be cultivated, you know, and you got to give it oxygen, and maybe the oxygen is the work, and you got to really work. And I see the vision of myself. Like, even when I was a little kid, I was like, I'm going to be great. But I was like, I'm going to be great. I'm going to be amazing. I'm going to travel the world doing something. I'm going to do that. And I haven't stopped until like this year. I really actualized that. And it's important that, you know, I reflect God in all that. You know, God has blessed me with an amazing gift and talent. And I have also worked to cultivate that. And I've also learned the business acumen about it. And I've also been diligent. So, you know, He can give me the gift, and I also work to cultivate that gift. You know, it's like the story about the talent. You know, God gives you a talent. Some people just bury it in the ground, and nothing ever happens to it. And some people turn it into something.
We're at the National Museum of African American History and Culture, AKA the Black Smithsonian, where your boy has an exhibit, or is featured in an exhibit. I'm trying to see if we can get in. It's a hard ticket.
I really only take about 30 to choose 4 that I like.
That's a pretty good, that's 10% more than 10%.
Yeah, that's not bad.
By the way, my kids were not impressed with this.
Okay. Let's see who help me. Totally different.
Here we go, Josh, you're missing it. You're missing it.
Guys!
You're missing it. It's playing. It's playing now.
You look so young.
Right? Cue in on this. This is your boy.
Look at Kev on the screen. On the museum. On the screen. Kev on screen in the museum.
Your boy in the National Museum of African American History. Fredericks.
Everybody, phones out, phones out.
We legit. We in the museum of whatever. Kevin Fredericks. Kevin Fredericks. That's what's up. Just think, in 50 years, social media won't exist.
This is going to be here for 30 years minimum.
My goal is just to show people, if nothing else, you can do this without starting from a leg up. I don't have a rich father to give me a loan. I don't have, you know, there was no trust fund. There was no bonus. I worked for everything. I worked on my craft. I learned the business. I learned the play business. Then I learned the YouTube business. I learned touring, like production, digital media. I learned to cultivate this and found my place in it. And I've always been authentic to who I am, but I've also made sure that I've got my place. Sometimes you don't even appreciate what you've done until it's over, you know, and the tour is so grueling. It's just like, all right, we fly out Thursday, land Friday morning, try to get a nap, try to get something to eat, leave by 4, perform, break down, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come back. And it's just like, quickly January became August. You know, we flew across to London and Hawaii. And then when you see like all the way down to Huntsville, Alabama, you know, sold out, 350 people, and you realize this is over, we did it. This goal of this tour was just to see if it could be done. Can I put tickets on sale and have people come and watch? Hopefully I make more money than I spend. That's the goal, but even if I lose money, can it be done? And at that moment, it was like, we did this. We figured out a way to do this. And that was, you know, it's like being overcome with emotions. Like you finally achieved a goal that, you know, didn't even seem possible. At first, it's just dates on a website. If I died right now, I really went out and built something and did something that not a lot of people get to do. There's very few comedians on this earth who have done a tour that they promoted themselves. Like, you know, self-promoted, no Live Nation, no AG, no regular guy, just me, my wife, and my friends, you know, and that was enough.